we got today we're doing a mukbang conversation type thing, and we just got back from Timmy Chang, and we're at the park, and we're just gonna set up a little bit and get our thumbnail and say our grace. I got the chicken wings with regular fried rice and a roll with cream. These are crab puffs, we call them. And I also got egg rolls. And then I got a mango punch to drink. What you get, Mom?
I got the Arizona green tea with ginseng and honey.
Scoot over.
I like that.
Scoot over a little bit.
And I got me 2 pieces of fish, some shrimp, some fried rice, and one of those puff balls. We call them fried biscuit, not puff. So there you have it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hold up our food so we get a thumbnail. And I'm just take this off. I'm gonna tear my front off so I can get a better hold on my plate. Uh-oh.
Well, I thought I had some water, but fortunately I don't. Unfortunately, I do not. Oh, look at this fish.
Oh, we're just gonna take a thumbnail. You don't have to talk. Oh my God! Put that bag. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and say grace and go ahead and dive in. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive. Make sure that it nourishes our body and give us the strength that we need for today, Lord. And let's have a great conversation for today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So the first thing that I've been wanting to talk about with my mom, because she's been saying a lot of side notes, is that she don't believe men and women should be best friends. Now, I'm gonna let you speak on it before I say what I want to say. Because I just...
Well, like I said, sometimes there are other relationships get involved. Like, how you gonna have a woman for your best friend? How you gonna have a man for your best friend? And with that in mind, we tend to have disagreements among ourselves when we do that. And I'm just thinking, wow, is that something we do? Is that something we want to do? So that's why I say men and women ought to think twice about being best friends, especially if they're in any type of relationship.
Have you ever had a best friend before?
Yeah, I have 2 best
of
friends.
Opposite sex?
No, I have not.
Why?
Well,
because in our generation, we always think the first thing we think of if anybody say, "Oh, they best friends with somebody," we automatically think, "Oh, they messing around, they doing something under the sea or whatever." But sometimes that's not the case.
yeah, I understand. Sometimes that's not the case, but what you just said is what usually the other person in the relationship is thinking. What's going on with this? Because sometimes our best friends don't think about, or they might be with their partner, or they might be doing this, blah, blah, blah. They just need you as a best friend, and they call on you or text you or blah, 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 and then what you have.
Yeah. Well, I do have a best friend. He's a male. And we've been friends for 7 years now. And to be honest, we have never done anything. Like, no sexual relations. We have no feelings for each other. He's like we've been friends for so long now. He's basically considered my brother. Like, there's no intention to do anything weird at all. So I'm kind of happy about that. And I was just talking to my mom about it, and then she was like,
Hello.
"Hi." And she was like, well, what if he gets a girlfriend and he don't want to be your friend anymore? And I was like, well, he's had like 2 or 3 girlfriends already, and they all been cool with me. Like, once they figure out, and once they talk to me, and they be like, and they tell me how they feel, I just reassure them, hey, there's nothing going on here at all. Like, I have my own boyfriend, and trust me, my boyfriend went through the same thing too. Saying, oh, y'all did something, y'all did this. I was like, nah, bro, it's nothing like that at all. Nothing like that. And he will tell you that for real. Like, we'll sit here, have like the bomb conversation, and we, look like we so compatible, but we don't see each other like that. We're like really good friends. Like, I talk to him like I talk to my own brother. So that relationship is like, I'm so happy to have, because I've had friends with like other females, and they didn't last long. And it's kind of controversial for me, because how can I have a relationship with a male that I have no type of sexual, no type of innuendos, nothing like that of that sort, and it lasts so long? But with a female, there's no attraction there at all, but that friendship don't last. It's always conniving people, friends coming in, trying to be your friend for other reasons. They trying to tear you down. They trying to, mooch off of you, or something like that of that sort.
Well, when I was in high school, I had what I called a best friend. And I was friends with that person, which is a male, for a long time. I could call that person, him, on the phone and talk about things that was going on in our life, and we would laugh. I'd go over to my cousin's house, and he would come over there, and we'd play around, all of us, the kids, and it was just, and still now as an adult, I really consider him as my friend, but he probably forgot all about it, It doesn't matter. When I see him online, what you doing? I don't want to call his name. What you doing? Hey, what's going on? If I have a group that I want to invite people in, I make sure I invite him. So he knows we were friends, and we were always friends. And he'd probably be laughing at me right now, just like he used to laugh at me when we were children. But it's all good. I understand. When you have a friend, you have a friend, and that's just the way it is. Hey, y'all, don't worry about this under here, because I got this from when I was a child, and it ain't going away.
What are you talking about?
I wish I could just show you the picture right there in the sky and the eye.
What you talking about? I mean, we all have that. If you're a little chunky, we all have that. Ain't nothing wrong with
I've
that.
had it since I was a little kid. Let me say what I say. Well, do you know how to cook fried rice? Oh, I'm gonna learn how to cook this just like this.
I made some before. I put the egg in there and the onions. It didn't come out perfect. I think I put a lot of vegetables in mine. No, that wasn't. That was stir fry, not fried rice. That was stir fry.
It makes. Oh yeah, okay. So sometimes they'll have vegetable fried rice, shrimp fried rice, chicken fried rice. This is just plain fried rice, and I love it. I'm gonna master it too, with brown rice.
No, we've been going to Timmy Chains ever since I was little. If you don't have Timmy Chains is in Houston, or one of their locations in Houston. I'm not sure where. It could be anywhere else, but I know in fact that it's in Houston. We live in the northwest side, like Eagles Home area, so we have one like close by us, and they have like, to me, like black people, we cook out chicken, but I feel like they have the best like mediocre chicken, like plain chicken. Like, if you go anywhere else, like, I understand Popeyes, churches, KFC, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, if you just want some regular wings with nothing on it, plain sauce, kind of with, like, they don't have no seasoning, just plain, they have the best to me. And I was just thinking about that when I was at home. Because I had to get this now because in San Antonio, I currently live in San Antonio. And we don't have Timmy Chan's that I know of. And I was just saying, oh, I want some Timmy Chan's chicken. Have you ever craved that food?
Oh, all the time. You see this big piece of fish here? I crave that, and very few people I can go and get catfish this big. Affordable scale where I can share a meal with someone, because this is a lot. It's enough for 2 people here. But if you're hungry, you get enough to fill you up.
Well, I messed up my cup, y'all. Let me get one of your napkins. Ah! Look, it will not come up. But anyway, I'll fix it later. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is I've been watching YouTube a lot, and it seemed that they be talking about how society, schools, teachers, parents, blah blah blah, have been telling their students to, like, or their kids to go straight to college after high school, instead of, like, coming out of high school and going and making their own business. Now, to me, I'm like, when I came out of high school, I didn't even know what to do, to be honest. But I'm 25 now, about to be 26, and I'm just looking like, man, if I did have that mentality to do that, like, where would I be now, you know? Like, I wouldn't even know. Like, at that time, I wasn't even thinking about selling anything. What do you think about it?
Well, I've always been an entrepreneur-minded person. When I was a child, I used to sew clothes for the dolls and design them with newspaper. So I knew I was going to be some kind of designer. I used to hem clothes for people in our neighborhood and charge them 25 cents. Well, you know, back then, candy bar was a nickel, so I was doing good. The only thing that I didn't have was someone to encourage me to move forward. But I have to admit, my dad always stood by me and said whatever I wanted to do, he would help me do it. Whether it was going to school or trying to work on a project or hustling up a second hustle or anything, he would always help me. So we've been like 2 peas in a pod forever. Now, when we think about coming out of high school, my dad didn't want me to work when I was in high school. So my junior year, I took this class that prepared you to work. And my senior year, I took it again, maybe the second part. Because I told the lady, my dad doesn't want me to work, so I can't get out at 12. I have to stay in school. And she said, okay. So I learned how to do a lot of things that you would do in the office. Typing, thinking certain kind of way. The mindset for success. By the time I was 23, I was trying to do a typing business. And I got tired of typing. I said, oh no. The only thing that I did not learn was how to set the business up, do a little bit of work, get a few clients, and then start bringing other people in to replace me. Now, when I was going to college and I took business administration, but I wasn't utilizing it right. I knew what I was supposed to do. Sometimes we go to school and we get all this information in our brain, and then we be like, okay, now what? I ain't never wanted to just hold down a 8-to-5 job or work for any one particular company. You know, like people say, oh, when I get certain age, I'm going to be working for IBM or some famous company. I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to work for myself. So even at my age, I've decided that it's never too late. It's only late when you have no breath. And since I know how to do that, I'm going to start working on trying to get that done. And that way you can pass things on to your family or to a group of people who decided to, who decided to be a part of you in an LLC or some type of S corporation or just a plain corporation. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, because when I was like at that age, I wasn't, where I feel like I was just, people were telling me to do stuff, but I wasn't listening. In the beginning, I was just like, I'm gonna live and learn. But now looking back, like, I have no regrets, but looking back, I'm like, well, I could have started that, because I had the money, to be honest. I had the money to, like, at least kickstart something, And now thinking back on it, it's like, man, I could have had multiple streams of income by 25. But I didn't even think about that. So now thinking on it now, like, I'm like, okay, let's get it rolling. Let's get some stuff going. So I just started doing research on it. I know y'all gonna go for me for this, but like, there's nothing left on here. But I'm starting to do research and seeing what I can do, what types of multiple streams of income I can do, like YouTube, Magic Links, what else? Endorsements on Instagram. What else? Endorsements on Instagram. When people like send you stuff for free, like I had a couple people do that. Let's see, what else? I don't know, like, I just want to make sure that I have, at this mindset, about to turn 26, I just want to have, like, multiple streams of income, or working on it, at least.
Yeah. When you talk about multiple streams of income, that has always been my drive. You still have to organize it and get it together, because you can't commingle the funds. That you have to be separate.
Yeah.
So that was the confusion for me. But like you said, multiple streams of income. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I've even talked to it about our marketing person that we're following. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I love marketing. I like her stuff. Marketing by Monterey. I love her stuff. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
So, if you've been following me on Facebook, you know I've said let's get something done in 2021. So, the best thing to do is just that. Think about what you want to do for 2021 and write it down. It's not about how much you weigh or how much money you want to make. Just get started. Write it down. I always believe that if you write it down, your brain is already manifesting it. And you'll look up and say, wow, I completed this, and this. I had a bucket list, I know, with at least 20 items on it, long time ago. I've done everything on my bucket list except for one, and that's to be a waitress. I decided that I didn't want to be a waitress anymore. So there's no need in me even
I tried to become a waitress, and they looked at my resume and was like, are you sure you want to be a waitress? I was like, I just wanted it as a second job. They was questioning, why did I want to be a waitress when I'm a certified technician and all this other stuff? I was like, wait, whoa, it's just a second job. Like, calm down. Just give me the opportunity. Like, but they didn't hire me because I wanted just for like a few weeks or whatever. And they was like, by the time I learned it, it'd be time for me to go. Mm-hmm. But I remember I went to what's that garden? What's that place?
Olive Garden?
Olive Garden. And we was getting served. We was getting served by this lady. And I think my mom or somebody asked, what do you do? And I said, she was like, oh, I'm a teacher on this, during the day, and I come waitress at night. And I'm like, why do you do this? She said, well, she don't have no kids, she don't have no man, she don't have nothing else. So she was like, why spend my time doing nothing when I can go spend my time making money? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I don't know, it always stuck it back in my head. Even my professors, they was like, my director of my program, she was like, at y'all age, we always had like 3 jobs. I said 3. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I thought I could do 2, but not 3. Like,
I always had 2 jobs with a side hustle. I used to crochet. I'd sell my blankets for X amount of dollars, my scarves, my booties. I worked at one job full-time and another job part-time. Some summers I worked 2 full-time jobs. But I think the issue is this. When you have that, something needs to be for the future, not to create a lifestyle for you. For instance, you have a full-time job, you have a part-time job, and you have a side hustle. Where is the savings? And what is the savings for? That is the most important thing that I feel when you have all this income coming in. Yeah. My full-time job paid for my rent, my utilities. I didn't have a car note. I paid cash for my car. So I should have been saving my part-time money. And my stash money, I used to keep it in a Ziploc bag. I had money all the time. My side hustle money, all the time. My little brothers used to go in and get them $20 here and 20, and they say, I didn't mess with your money. He did. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm too grown for this. So, yeah, you gotta channel that money. Working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs and don't have no money, don't have a big savings, it's not worth it. You gotta channel the money.
Yeah, because I think you're like totally correct. Because I can say, okay, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna act like I'm broke. I get to this destination and next thing you know, something else pop up. I get more money, this, blah blah blah, and that whole I act like I'm broke thing is out the door. But looking at different financial Instagrams and pages, I've noticed that it's just time to like give each dollar like a reason. Like, what are you doing? Is this miscellaneous? Is this reckless fun? Is this? Is this that? So I just made sure I went on Pinterest and looked up some stuff that would make it more fun for me. Because if it's not fun, I'm not gonna really want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
So I just made this thing where I can, if I save it, I just color it in. And then I also have one where I have all these sinking funds where you just have like different funds. You want to make sure you have money. So for Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, reckless fund, moving fees, deposits, even like emergency car fund, emergency fund, stuff like that. And I think as I'm becoming of age, I need to really have those funds, you know, getting started. Like, I have a whole nother fund somewhere that I don't even, like, I know how much is in there, but I don't touch it because there's no point. Like, it's real money in there, but I don't touch it because it's so much work to get it out. And I'm like, okay, well, if I put that out, if I take it out, how long is it going to take? But I'm like, just leave it there. I'll just get it somewhere else, you know? So, like, when you have, like, stashes like that, I feel like you can save better. Like, I have an account with a bank that you have to literally go in, show your ID in order to get your money. That's the only way I can save money. Like, if I have it attached to my banking account, I'll be transferring all the time.
I agree with you there. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
And then once you think about, I have to get up, I have to go inside, I'm like, you be like, nah, leave it alone.
Or even I got to go over there to do this. Yeah. And with the pandemic now, they want you to make an appointment at a certain place. You can't just pop in and come in and do what you normally do. That's a real hassle. So sometimes I find myself just putting it in the night deposit box. I know once it's in, it's in. So yeah. I haven't
This food is really good, y'all.
channeled all of my thoughts yet, but she mentioned a really good idea. Putting all these fun games. It's kind of, for me, it would be like a puzzle. When I fill in this piece of the puzzle, I color it. When I do this piece of the puzzle, I color it. And
It takes time to do it though. My hands started cramping up because I did something mean.
one is enough. I just have to decide how much is it that I'm trying to save. Once I decide on that, I'm more, like I said, I used to draw those dollhouse dresses on newspaper. I just draw me some squares and circles and diamonds and rectangles and blah, 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 and connect them all. And then once I see how many I got for the page, I divide that by the number of money I want to save. And some I can break up, some I can put together, blah, blah, blah. So this one girl that I follow on YouTube, she suggested something called Every Dollar.
Yeah, I just said that. About the $every one, you doing that too?
The Every Dollar app?
Oh, not the $every app.
It's an Every Dollar app, and it helps you channel that. It tells you asks you about your income. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell it to you, but you go look it up, Every Dollar, or hit us up on the bottom here, and we'll send you the link so we can get credit for it, maybe. But it's real interesting. It doesn't cost you anything. I used to have this other app called Digital Savings.
I thought it was called Digit.
I think it's Digital Savings.
Digital?
But you tell them how much money you want to save for our next trip, maybe Africa, and then they start saving it for you. But you can't be spending down to 0 or cents because they're going to take that money out of there. And by the time you get to whatever time you set up, you should have amount of money to go where you want to go, or for spending money or whatever you want. I thought that was really neat, but like you have to have an account set up so they can pull the money from it.
Yeah.
So those are two things that I've used recently. Is Every Dollar. It's an app in your phone. Look it up. Wait for our link. And Digital Savings is also a link. Wait for our link. If you like anything we're talking about here, leave a comment below. And if you're...
Yeah, just comment one of your favorite, saving techniques. That'd be nice. If you have your own saving technique, just comment below. Oh, I'm getting full.
I know. You see that big piece of fish over there? Half of my biscuit, 2 of my shrimp, half of my rice. I'm about to be just sitting here talking to you because there's no way I'm going to eat all of this.
But I know that the new year, it's time. Even during the pandemic, I was grinding. That's probably how I got sick, but hey, life happens. But I got sick at work. But I was grinding. When they said we were all out of masks, I was like, what can I do? And I started seeing commercials, people making masks. I said, oh, it must be really simple. Excuse me. And so I started making masks. I probably sold over 50, 75 masks. Yeah. And probably more. I don't even know. It was just to help out people. I don't sell them anymore. Just because it's very time consuming. Because people, at one time, one person ordered 17 masks. And at first I was doing them by hand. And once the order started going up, I said, nah. I had to ask my mom I had to ask you to teach me how to use the sewing machine. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was crying. I said, Mama, I can't get this. You need to come help me. Like, I didn't know how to use the spool that was inside where you put the thread in. You have to put it through the thread. All it was all jumbo, like mush. She was telling me to do it. I said, I don't know how to do it. I need to come over there. But once she showed me, man, I was making masks like this. I was shooting them out. I would stay up all night, having to go to work the next day. It was getting so bad until people would come to the pharmacy. Like, I work in a pharmacy, so inside of Walmart. So I'm advertising to customers inside of Walmart and online. So people out working keep coming to the pharmacy. They keep coming here and coming there. And eventually my manager at the time allowed me to like advertise. And I said, hey, don't do that. But he said, go ahead and do it. And it took one person to mess it up for me. One person to act the fool. I wasn't at work. And they came up there looking for me. And he was holding up the line. I heard it was so much controversy and all that other stuff. And I said, man, it took that one person. And after that day, he was like, oh, you can't do it here anymore. And I was like, I told you not, I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Maybe I thought you weren't going to get so known. People weren't going to request.
He thought it was a great idea. It was, we work at a pharmacy who don't need masks, Mm-hmm. It just made sense to click the two. But once people started acting up, I wasn't there. They was coming. And I was like, he was like, why you didn't text him or call him? I said, I did talk to him. He talked to me. Why did he come up to the pharmacy? I even told him when I was working. So it was all these communication errors for people. So it kind of taught me, like, just to, I don't know, when you're doing like a side business, you really have to think it through how you want to do it. Because if you try to, like, if your manager allows you to do certain things, your customers, it's almost like you have to train your customers.
Yes.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I didn't have time to train this person. Like, even though I told him, I should up front, I should have said, do not come back to the pharmacy until I say I'm here. That's what I should have said. But I said, I'm not going to be here till tomorrow, and I will have your mask in. But he can't. I guess he didn't understand me because he spoke a little Spanish, a little English. And I guess he didn't understand me, which is the communication error. But, I mean, a communication, like, dialogue late, so it's, like, kind of off a little bit, But yeah. So, y'all, that's the end of our mukbang. As you can see, she's already put hers away. I am almost done with mine. I have almost one wing left and some rice, and I'm probably gonna finish that, but I don't know. We'll probably finish it later. I have some of my Amazon, my Arizona tea in my Starbucks cup, and I'm just gonna finish that out. But thank you for watching. Make sure you come back to Crystal's Wonders, and you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and what was the other one? TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Crystal's Wonders. And where can we find you?
You can find me at Fun and Adventure Act on YouTube. The Fun and Adventure Act on YouTube. You can also find me at The Fun and Adventure Act on Instagram. And yeah, I have another Instagram. It's called Charles Harris. You can follow me there too. CharlHarris. But the ones that go to my Fun and Adventure Act are those two that I just gave you.
All right, y'all. So thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you follow us on our platforms, and we'll see you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
I'm not a diva. I'm not a diva. I'm not a diva. I'm not a diva.